So today we have the pleasure of speaking with Stefan. Stefan, would you like to introduce yourself and the business to the community?
Hi, yeah, I'm Stefan. I run Pilot Hub Limited. It's a social network for pilots and other aviation professionals, and it's basically a place where people can come along, learn everything they need to know about aviation, as well as how to get into it, how to find a job, all the way through from beginning to end, basically.
Oh, wow. How did you come up with the idea?
Well, I'm a pilot myself, sort of outside of this, and so I basically, when I first started out my training years ago, there wasn't really much information out there. So when I eventually got to an airline, it was a massive shock to me, just sort of first of all, how little flying I actually do. And then sort of all the sort of background stuff, how sort of what the lifestyle's like and things like that. And there wasn't really that much information out there. Some of the information that was out there was just completely wrong. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to start my own site to sort of teach people.
Amazing. And how long has it been up and running for?
So it's been about probably 7 or 8 months now. So we're still quite new, still sort of learning where to go and whatnot. But yeah, it's going well.
Fabulous. And what so on that, in those few months of journey that you've been on, what's been your biggest learning so far?
The biggest learning is how the company's sort of grown in that time. So what started out as was just going to be a very basic website teaching people, like say the very beginning, has now grown massively into social media. We're really focusing more on that, and just sort of, again, what originally started out as a place for all pilots is we've then become very focused on one area now, which is teaching people how to get into aviation, as opposed to people who are already in it and have been into it for years.
Yeah. And what was that switch about? Was it a conscious one, or was it just a natural kind of migration?
It just sort of naturally happened. We started focusing on social media, and we found that the majority of our followers were people who had sort of not necessarily no idea about aviation, but were very new to it, and sort of needed to learn where to begin. And so, yeah, just sort of naturally started to flow towards focusing on that.
Amazing. What a way to identify a gap in the market and help people.
Yeah.
Fab. So how do you balance, and how do you do, and it's a prime question for most business owners, but how do you balance the business, flying, and having a non-business related life as well?
Well, I think what helps for me is I'm still at a point where I don't see this business as work. It's still enjoyable. I love every day of working at this, so it doesn't feel like a job. You know, I do film videos for social media and TikTok and whatnot. Do bits with the website. My wife's also into aviation as well, so it's basically a hobby that's turned into a business.
Fabulous. And have you noticed a change in yourself yet, as you're developing the business?
I'm definitely a lot more focused now than I used to be. Yeah. So before, where I was sort of, my mind was focused on a million different things, now I definitely can focus on just the business and what needs to be done and work through it.
And lastly, my last question really is, looking back on the journey that you've been on from becoming a pilot yourself all the way through, how would you sum that up in a short sentence or a few words?
It's mind-blowing. It's something I never thought I'd be doing. So yeah, it's been incredible, and every day's a new adventure.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We are finished.